Hey everybody, it's the Nitty Professor. When I first heard about Dainite soles, I think it was from Stridewise, I just thought they were the coolest thing. I just thought, wow, they're these really high quality rubber soles that are made in Great Britain, and a lot of good boots seem to have them on there. And I thought it'd be interesting to podcast about those a little bit. I have a few boots with the Dainite on them. One of them is this pair from Parkhurst in this waxed flesh leather. I got these probably 4 years ago, and yep, that is your trademark Dainite sole on there. Get the lace out of the way. And learned a fair amount about these and researching them. They were first made in 1894, and the company that makes them is called Harborough, and I think it's named after the area near Northampton where the factory is located. And the name comes from the kind of idea that this mill that made these rubber soles ran day and night. And a lot of you probably already know that, so I'm passing along old news. But some of the attributes of this sole that are sort of touted, number one, it lends itself to a Goodyear welt. So you're not going to have a Dainite sole without the Goodyear welt. So they're obviously resolable. And they also come kind of automatically with the leather heel lift attached. So you've got nice midsole and the leather on the heel lift, and then you have the rubber. So the material is very sturdy, and that's one of the strengths of the Dainite soles. I actually have two pairs of whites. I have the Main Street boots. And these boots I've had probably for 4 years, I'm going to say. And I don't wear these every day, so you can see how the micro studs have worn down. But I have gotten a lot of use out of these, and that's a strength of the Dainite, is that they're very hard wearing. So that's one of the things that they pride themselves on, is the fact that if you, particularly if you have a pair of dress shoes, they're just going to last and last and last, and they're going to outlast a rubber sole. Another thing that is touted with the Dainite soles is that because of the studs, you've got some additional traction. So you have some opportunity there for traction on a lot of surfaces that you're going to encounter outdoors. And in contrast to a commando sole, it's not going to pick up a whole lot. So you might pick up a little here and there, but not like a commando sole where you can have, just chunks of rock and sand, stock and mud and this kind of thing. That's not going to happen. So you can keep your indoor environments a little cleaner. Now this is the Grant Stone specific sort of mock Dainite. Obviously they're taking the concept and applying it. The studs are a little smaller. The material, I'm sure there's some kind of difference, right? But as far as the wear and the behavior of these soles, they're very comparable. So maybe the studs, I don't know, they might not hold up quite as long as the Dainite ones. I don't know. Again, these Jungle Kangaroo diesel boots, I don't wear them every day, but I got a fair amount of wear out of them. You can see from the heel that they have definitely touched concrete a number of times. And the studs are holding up pretty well. So this is like Grant Stone's answer to Dainite. As far as heritage boots go, looking back, I find it kind of interesting that I was so fascinated by these. I remember when I got the whites, and my son, who, as many of you know, is a real heritage boot fan, he was like, "Oh wow, cool! Those are like real Dainite, and I do like the fact that they're British made. They're made very carefully with a lot of quality control by people in England, and probably people who are paid well, and for all I know, they're probably in a union, which would be a really good thing to have going on. This one, you can tell there's a little more wear on the heel, so they hold up very well. The profile, I think, is worth remarking upon. You're going to encounter Dainite in dress shoes. So the idea is that leather is probably the optimal dress shoe kind of sole for men's dress shoes, which is not something that I have a lot of experience with. They're elegant, they're slim, they have that profile, they have that tradition behind them. And adding a layer of Dainite, you're not adding a whole lot of bulk to it. It's not like putting on, you know, a Vibram V-bar sole or something like that. You can still retain the slim, elegant lines with a rubber sole. So that is the advantage that's, you know, the shoemakers kind of sell you on. But as far as heritage boots go, it's kind of an interesting concept. So, you know, these are going to lean a little more towards a dress boot. So you're not going to find Dainite on like a mock toe. I don't even know about cap toe necessarily. That's an interesting question. Well, I suppose I do have cap toe whites. In fact, I'm wearing them, and they have the broguing, so they're still kind of dressy, like in a Trickers kind of a way. But it's not the kind of sole that you're going to wear for a hike or at the factory. Well, unless you own the factory, then you might, or something like that. So it's kind of like a dress boot, heritage boot cross. That's sort of what I would argue. So these are, in my book, they're still heritage boots, and they have the advantage of I can wear them at work, I can wear them to conferences, I can wear them in a more formal environment, and still enjoy the fact that I've got boots on and that they're protecting my feet in the way that I need them to, while also fitting in a way that matches the, you know, the professional, more upscale dress environment that I'm in. So anyhow, I'd be curious what your take is on Dainite. You know, do you recommend it for heritage boots? You have some. Obviously, there's some pretty good brands out there that use them regularly, like Oak Street. Now, a lot of them, like Allen Edmonds, they'll use them more for dress shoes, like loafers and that kind of thing. But there are some pretty good boots out there, like the Parkhurst and the Whites and the Granstone, that have them. It's a little limited, you know. I'm trying to think of other brands that use the Dainite soles. It's like, well, how come they're not more common, you know? It's, I guess in the back of my mind, that's kind of the question that I have, like, why aren't they more common? So if you have a comment about that and some intel on why Dainite soles aren't even more common in heritage boots than they are, I would be really interested in learning your perspective and your take on the micro stud soles in general. So with that, I'll say so long, and we'll talk again soon. Take care. Bye.